Most people with a message are renting their reach. Think about it. Followers, likes, shares, views, all that lives on a platform you don't own. The algorithm shifts, trends die, and it's gone. You could have hundreds, if not millions of followers and not own a single thing. What's going on, people? My name is Javier Torres, and I run an agency called Javier Torres Studios, where we help visionaries, authors, pastors, and leaders just like you take what's inside of them and turn it into assets they actually own. So about a year and a half ago, a friend and client of mine, Richard, had a message. He had about 7,000 to 9,000 followers at the time, but today he has over 44,000, has half a dozen books, a course that's done tens of thousands of dollars, and assets that pay him every single month while he's living out his calling. He has income and assets he gets to pass down to his kids one day. And the cool thing is, I was able to help him build a lot of it behind the scenes. Attention is not an asset. An asset is something you own that keeps paying you whether you post it today or not. And that's a trap. People come to me thinking they need a logo or a book cover or a designer, and they're thinking way too small, because attention without assets is just noise that disappears. And let me show you what I mean with Richard. Richard is a pastor and evangelist, and him and his wife founded a very powerful ministry. Now, early on, I gave him a tip I thought would help his content. This was a couple years back after hearing the CEO of Instagram talk about it. I told Richard carousels were about to be the next big thing and that he should really lean into them. He was already doing quote style posts, and I said, you should turn those into multiple slides so people can stay engaged and keep swiping. That was it. One tip, and Richard ran with it. I remember checking back a few months later after watching him run the play, and I was blown away by what I was seeing. He just started telling me about the responses he was getting, the DMs, the comments, celebrities were reposting them. I was totally blown away. And I wanna make this part very clear. Richard ran with this all on his own, every single day with his own voice and his own concepts. People even ask me if I make his graphics, and the answer is no. He was gritty enough to learn how to pull this off all by himself, his consistency, his persistency, and his voice. It's just really cool to be a spark or a catalyst to his growth. I don't want to take credit from his growth from 7,000 to 44,000 on it. That's no way I'm going to take, credit for his anointing, his messaging, or anything like that. But it's definitely cool to be a part of it, be a catalyst, be a spark. Congratulations, Richard. Let's go. Fast forward a few months, we released a few projects together, and we're still talking every single week. And I started to see something he hadn't seen yet. All of that reach he had been building had nowhere to land. He was getting 3, 4, 5,000, maybe even sometimes 8,000 shares on a single post, getting reposted by famous people. All of them were sharing his stuff, all that energy, and none of it was hitting its fullest potential. So I told him, let's give this somewhere to live. Let's build something that you actually own. Let's turn these carousels and these quotes into something more. So I started telling him we need to maximize this content instead of it just living on quotes and Instagram slides. Let's turn this into something more. What about a devotional series? And he absolutely loved it, because if you know Richard, he's a devotional type of dude. He's actually champions them. Just ask him, he won't deny it. But let me rewind for just a second, because why would he trust me with such a big idea of not just one book, but a 4-book series? Remember when I said we worked on a few other projects together? Well, one of those other projects was his first solo book called Body Count. Now, Body Count is Richard's testimony about him marrying his wife, who had a very public past, and biblical ways that he was able to walk through all of it. It's a very bold personal testimony and very cool project to be able to help him work on. Where I came in was with the full book development, starting with the book title of Body Count, the subtitle, all the intricate process, the full rollout. I'm talking intro videos, graphics, branding, book cover, the full publishing for Apple and Kindle, All the formatting, pretty much taking his testimony and turning his message into a complete movement. It ended up hitting #1 on Amazon the day of release for top Christian books. And that was a huge win for him, for me, for everybody involved. That right there was the proof of concept, taking his message and turning it into an asset he actually owns. Back to how Spirit-Led series was born. We were doing one of our weekly clarity talks and talking about life, talking about work, talking about how he was getting reposted by people like Master P, which was pretty cool on Instagram. And I was like, man, we needed to turn this into something more. So the strategist in me said, let's turn this into a Devo, something Richard and his wife had already done on a past book. And I felt like this would be a perfect fit because people were treating his quotes and his comments like a daily devotional already. You could tell from how they were responding, they were getting real value from it, and he was giving them real value. So instead of it just living on Instagram, why can't we turn this into an actual devotional so people can get even more from it? Because I believe the way that people consume your content actually determines the type of value they put on it. Having it in a devotional form is way different than just reading something on Instagram. Then I asked him, what are all these different colors you're using for your carousels and your quotes? And he explained to me that each color was a different topic. And right there, it moved from just one devotional into an entire series and an entire world. I said, instead of just doing one, let's do a multi-book drop. And he absolutely loved it and he wanted to run with it. And honestly, I don't think he would have been as excited or ready to go if I hadn't already proven myself with Body Count the book or the course that we built, which is a whole nother story in and of itself. I didn't just see a book, I saw an entire series, a cohesive, spirit-led world, same logo, same colors, same voice, same feel, all the way through. We both got super fired up finishing that call because we were building this thing together. He was ready to pull the trigger by the end of that call and to get started on building this entire world. Because we were building this together, I was able to tap into his essence and we started developing this into an asset. And that right there is true partnership, where I don't mind putting my name on it because we were building this shoulder with shoulder. And that's why Richard even calls it our project even to this day. Now let me tell you about the economics because this part blew me away. The series is called Spirit-Led. It's 4 books: Faith, Leader, Singles, and Marriage. And each one is a 31-day devotional. And they're all living on Amazon right now. They have all about like 4 to 5 stars. So go check them out if you haven't already. Richard committed to doing all 4 books up front, but we dropped them separately. We first started with Faith, then Leader, and the crazy thing is, with the first 2 books, it was profitable enough to pay for all 4. That means by the time number 3 and number 4, which is Single and Marriage, they were already pure profit. Now the whole series earns him and his family thousands of dollars of residual income every single month from intellectual property he now owns. The message that used to live in a swipe now earns him money while he sleeps. Actually, before Spirit-Led series or even Body Count, Richard came to me wanting to work on a small course. He wanted to record some of his teachings and put them into a YouTube playlist. And again, I saw a bigger opportunity. So instead of a playlist, I built for him a full course platform. I directed it, I developed the name, the concept, and built out an entire ecosystem for him, right down to the certificates students would get when they graduated. So let me be clear, him and his wife were the directors and the producers of all of it. They're the ones that booked the talent, directed it, developed all the content. They were already cooking, but I feel like I just brought gas to the fire. I took what they were already producing and helped package it to turn this into a real asset. Turned it from a YouTube playlist into an actual course that people will pay a lot of money for. Now that course has done tens and thousands of dollars and they've been able to 3 and 4x their original investment. And I don't want to claim that my repackaging of a YouTube playlist into an entire course is the only reason why it was able to do those multipliers. But I do know one thing for sure. It's one of the very reasons and one of the very results that helped him and his wife trust me with future projects. Because that's something I love to do. I love to underpromise and overdeliver. I love to execute with excellence. I love to find people's true essence and turn that into assets we deliver to the world. So let's fast forward to what Richard has now. He started with the message, but now he has books, series, courses, merch drops. All of that has provided funding for his ministry, and now he has intellectual property that he's able to pass down to his children and fund the mission and calling him and his wife are called to build. And he didn't have any of that a couple years ago. He had a message, but he had courage enough to bet on himself, and he had the craziness to be able to bet on me, and I thank him for it. And that's exactly what I mean, turning your essence into assets. Because a message could become a book could become a series can become a course, a platform, a community, a custom GPT, an event, heck, a movement. The very expertise sitting in your head right now could actually be turned into assets that compound and actually outlive you. And here's the thing I really want you to hear, whoever you are on the other side of this camera, you might not even know what you have inside of you. And that's the cool thing of working with people just like you, working with people just like Richard. It's never about the tool or the tactic. It really comes down to trust, because he had a vision and he actually had the guts big enough to like take a risk on himself. And all I did was help build and extract his essence, turn that into assets, and help him find and discover what was really inside of him, and we just built on top of it. So if you've got a message you've been sitting on for years, maybe 4 years, maybe even a lifetime, I want you to stop sitting on it and start to take action. If you find me on Instagram, comment the word assets down below and I'll send you a link to help you extract your essence and help those turn into assets, or you could go into essenceintoassets.com. I hope you found value from this video. If this video helped you out in any way, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. I'm a brand new channel, so any comment I'll definitely read and respond to, and any subscriber means the world to me. Or share this with a friend that you know this would help. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. God bless you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.